punching the dog. You guys are really strong because this is hard work.
Today we're in Madurai, India, and this video is going to be all about some crazy good street food.
This place has a really vibrant street food culture. We can't wait to share what we find with you.
Madurai in southern India is a city that ignites the senses. Step onto the street and you're hit with delicious smells, chaotic traffic, and a city that dazzles with colour. This is our first video from Madurai, and we're delving into the heart of the local food culture. We eat one of the city's most famous snacks, the flaky, crispy bun parotta, and even convince the chefs to let us have a go at making them. We tuck into traditional Madurai fare and eat a delicious bone marrow omelette and other South Indian classics. We sip frothy filter coffee from a legendary local coffee shop and hunt down the city's best idiyappam, steamed rice noodles smothered in a spicy tomato chutney. In this India series, we'll show you some of the country's best food, from iconic street food to regional Indian dishes. You don't want to miss this series. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Chinna, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. There's something so special about being in the south of India and eating. It's such a neat place to film. There's so much colour, it's so tropical, so it's very hot. It's a neat place, and just look at all the chaos of India all around us. I absolutely love it. The colours that the people are wearing, the colours of the autos. And to start this video off, we're having coffee, which is not what you first think of when you think of India. You think of chai or tea. But down here in the south, coffee is a very big thing. So we're going to this very classic coffee stall here in Madurai.
Hello, Vanakkam. How are you? We heard your coffee is famous. One coffee. Yes. Wow, that looks good, Nandri.
Like all good stand-up coffee places around the world, it's very quick. You walk up, coffee's done, boom, straight at you down the hatch. So very quickly we've got our coffee. But look at this little stand, it's super cool. All these guys just hanging out, having a coffee. Oh, and the smell in the air is neat. So it's a pulled style coffee here in India, or in the south of India, and you can see all the bubbles on there. So the guy in there he's getting the coffee out of a big thermos, but then he's pulling it, so pouring it from great heights. So it's a milk, sugar, and coffee, so it'll be very sweet. Oh, wow. Oh, it's so strong and good. Very strong, very sweet, and a lovely milkiness to it. Oh, that is so good. Look at all the people pouring in. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, super sweet. So think canned coffee, that sort of sweetness, a lot of sugar in there. Very good. And I think it's super unusual to have coffee in India, so you don't think about it when you think of India. And the reason there is coffee down here in the south is a really interesting story as well. A Muslim pilgrim went to Mecca. This is back in the 17th century. And he smuggled back 7 coffee beans in his bed to the south of India. And next thing you know, here I am drinking a coffee. So it goes way back with the guy smuggling the beans and bringing coffee to India because they didn't want coffee to leave the Middle East, but he smuggled it in because it was so good. Oh, and this is delicious. We're definitely having many more than one joining these guys for a lineup of coffees this morning. Wow.
We're so pumped to be filming in Madurai. Madurai is known as being the street food capital of the state of Tamil Nadu, which is the state that we're in. It's very vibrant, it's alive, it's a really exciting place to be filming. Now, besides showing you the unique street foods that this city has, we also want to show you some of the more traditional sort of home-style cooking that you can find here. And one of the best ways to do that is to take you to a style of restaurant called a mess. Now, a mess is a restaurant which is no frills, serves sort of home-style dishes. It's really down-home, casual atmosphere. We're at the mess that we want to take you to now. It's called Amma Mess, so let's go in and eat. When you eat at a mess, it's quite common for you to eat on a banana leaf, and being in the south, eating on a banana leaf is quite common as well. First things first is to clean your banana leaf. So just grab some water, sprinkle it on, and then just wipe the banana leaf clean. Delicious. Thank you so much. So it all happens very quickly when you're eating banana leaf style. The guys will come over and start loading up your banana leaf. We've got some pickle. What's this, sir?
Sir.
Cabbage. So cabbage, carrots, some mustard seeds, whatnot. So this whole banana leaf is going to be pretty full by the time we get into it. All right, so we've had a few more things added on. We've got a pile of rice. We've got a pickle, which is made up of ginger and tamarind and whatnot. And then this here is a bone roast, the first of a couple of dishes that we've ordered. And it's a dry curry. Yes, fish gravy. Perfect. They loaded up our rice with gravy. This mess is really famous for its fish gravy, so of course we opted for that. So a ton of fish gravy on the rice, and I'm so excited about this spread. Let me talk you through the really unique dishes that we ordered. So this here is a bone marrow omelette. This here is a bone roast, so mutton bones, tons of curry leaves in there. It's going to be really good. So it's a dry curry. These balls here are mutton balls. Madurai is famous for these. And then we've got some vegetables, some potatoes, some cabbage and carrot, and then some pickle on the side, ginger pickle, I believe. I'm so keen on trying this bone roast. So it's mutton bones and it's cooked with a ton of spices. I can smell heaps of cumin in there, and there's loads and loads of curry leaves. So I'm going to really mix up that rice with the gravy. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. That gravy is sensational. The fish gravy is very tangy. So a lot of tamarind and tomato. It's very light. Let's try some of this bone roast. So the great thing about eating with your hands is that when you've got meat on the bone or seafood, you can really just get into those nooks and crannies. Ooh, yeah. I got a real gelatinous bit in that mouthful. It's so spicy, but it's spicy with chili and black pepper, so it's a very sharp spice. It's got lots of flavour. Not a lot of meat, and I wasn't expecting a lot of meat because it's a bone roast. But I'm going to have a really good time nibbling my way around those bones. When I heard that this place did a bone marrow omelette, I knew that we had to order it. How unusual is that? I've never ever heard of a bone marrow omelette. So it's quite a dark omelette. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of egg in it, and that's probably because it is just packed with that bone marrow. I can see it in there. Let's just eat it natural, so not with the rice. Whoa, that is intense. It is absolutely sensational. The texture of it is very soft, almost a little bit gooey, and not in a gross way, but it's very soft. You've got sort of the silkiness of the bone marrow. I've got to go again. The egg is not very strong at all, so look at that, and then that colour, that bone marrow, and it's got some spice in it as well. Oh man. What the egg does is that it adds a fluffiness to it. It's very soft, very silky. Oh, insane. Time to try these mutton kola. So these are a thing you've got to eat when you're in Madurai, and they're essentially a mutton ball. I'm going to break it in half and see if I can show you what it looks like on the inside. See, look at that. That's very finely minced mutton in there with a ton of spices, and I think there's a bit of coconut in there as well. Very, very tasty. Beautiful hit of spice, but not in chili heat, just spices. You can taste the aromatics, so ginger and whatnot. And then they're not hot, they actually serve just room temperature. But they have a really great texture, almost quite smushy, so that mutton has been very, very finely minced. Now the staff actually just brought over a cup of buttermilk. So buttermilk you can sort of just take a sip of, or you can actually pour it on your rice. And what it does is it takes the heat out of everything. So it cools your meal right down. So I've just poured a little bit of that on the rice. And let's get a taste of it. Oh yeah. So it's super sour. and it is very refreshing. It's cold too, so it sort of just draws the heat, the chili heat right out of your mouth. I'm loving this style of eating. It is super fun, and I'm so glad that we travelled across town to come to this particular mess. We're eating where the locals are eating, which is what we're all about. Super unusual but traditional dishes. It's so worth coming there for that bone marrow omelette especially. And this place is really heating up. There's people pouring in now for lunch. It's just gone 12 o'clock. It's such an experience.
We're hunting down something that we're going to film later in this video because the restaurant we want to eat at doesn't open until tonight. But it's now 2:30 and we're hoping that they're going to be making up the ingredients for tonight. So we're looking for a bun parotta restaurant, which is it's a dough-based dish. So we're hoping they're making, oh yes, I just saw it, we just came around the corner. They're making up the dough, so let's go check it out. Check out this crazy table of dough. The pile of dough was huge, so we've just missed them making up the dough from scratch, but it's just a very basic dough. So flour, eggs, milk, water, sugar, some salt. So a basic dough. They've just let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes, and now they're kneading it right out again. They're just cutting it up into those portions, so for the dish that we're going to have later, so the bun parotta. Wow, that pile of dough is crazy, and look where we are, right in amongst it. So all the action, you're right on the side of the road, and these guys must have some serious forearms to be kneading out this much dough every day.
The guys have just asked if I want to have a go at kneading the dough, so here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so sticky. Oh my goodness. They have really strong muscles because you show me how to do it. Oh, like this, like like this. Punching the dough. You guys are really strong because this is hard work. Okay. Yeah. This is super fun.
Now it's all hands on deck, and they're making it into the portion sizes. So into these little balls, covering it with some oil. So many people working really quickly on this table. Got all that chaos of the road going on. It's really neat to see it go from that huge pile at the beginning all the way down to these little balls really quickly. This is going to be such a good one to eat later.
Okay. The guys have let me try and make one of these bun parotta. It's much harder than it looks like that. Ah, yeah. The dough is so malleable and soft, like that. Reckon I? I don't know how they do it so quickly, and they form the most perfect smooth balls of dough. I'm having the time of my life. These guys are so friendly, letting me participate. Madurai really comes alive at night. There are so many street food options once the sun goes down, and we have come to our next spot. It's a store which has been around since 1978, and they specialise in a real southern Indian delicacy, and that's called idiyappam. Let's go and order some. Male vanakkam. Idiyappam are rice noodles. Actually, the guy just popped a whole stack of them at the front here, so you can see they've been piped through a sieve into a little pile, and then they get popped into this steamer right here. I can see the guys making them up the back. Come and see here. Come and see here, yeah. Oh, neat. Come over here. Look at this. So this is the sieve. The guy's popping the rice flour batter into that sieve, and then he's piping it onto that mat there, and then they go into the steamer. That's so cool.
These idiyappam look super good. They're such a neat snack. I love watching them getting made here. So when they're going, the batter, the rice batter, when it goes into the little machine to make the noodles, it's almost like Play-Doh sort of texture. So it squirts out into the tiny little noodles, and it's really neat to watch. And then gets stacked in this massive pot for steaming, and then turned out, and this place is super busy. So many people piling in to buy these. And look at them. Oh, it's super hot to touch. Look at all those tiny little strings of noodles. So it's basically like a little, wow, that's hot, like a little patty patty, sorry, made up of noodles, and then we've had it covered in chutney. So looks like a tomato chutney in there, and that should have some chili in it. Oh man, they're so hot. I'm gonna try and rip into this top one. I just want to rip into the bit that's got no chutney on, so I can give you a good look at that. Look at that, all those little strands of noodles. Oh, into that chutney. Oh, chutney's very good, very spicy. Oh, tangy and spicy. Oh, and that idiyappam is so simple, really nice and dry. You can see it's not leaving anything on my fingers at all. So really nicely dried out, not got all wet and stodgy from steaming. Oh, so because of that, sucks up the chutney so nicely. Really takes on the flavor, so perfect vessel for flavor. Because it's made up of all those tiny noodles, all the flavor can creep in all around and really soak through it. Super good, and this is such a neat little stall. I mean, you can see behind me the amount of people churning in here. We're right on a main road, so people can just pull in on their motorbike. We've got cars pulling in, they shoot into the stall, grab these as a snack. Most people are getting takeaway, but you can get them on a tray and you can eat them here. Whoa, these are brilliant. We have returned to where we were earlier in the day, helping make the dough, and it is a totally different scene here because now the bun paratha are being made and it is all action. Welcome. Check this out, it's all go here. So this is the table that the dough was being made on this morning, but now that dough is being spun out flat, and these guys are total experts. So they're spinning it out flat, and then it looks like they're filling it, they're filling it with air. Oh, so it's really puffy. And then once those puffy dough balls are done, they're coming onto this massive hot plate, and we saw the charcoal getting laid for that when we were here, and we were here a long time ago. We were here maybe 6 or 7 hours ago, so that charcoal is going to be beautiful and hot and just really even under there. And so you've got an incredibly, actually a really thick layer of oil, so they're pretty much being shallow fried. Oh, they're so golden. So you've got the beautiful smells of that hot oil and this dough, which looks insanely aerated. And check this out, when they come off, they're sitting here straight off the hot plate, and this guy's, he's smashing them. Look at that, totally smashing them to break it down, and all those little crispy bits are falling off. The sound of them getting crushed, so good. Oh, can you hear that in my mic? There's this beautiful noise. Oh, Nandri, wow. Oh man, so hungry. These look totally incredible. So they've been served on a banana leaf. So you've got these beautiful golden orbs on the banana leaf, and they're so nice and fluffy, feeling super crispy on the outside. And we've got it with 2 different gravies. So this one is the standard chicken gravy that they have here. So you can see how beautiful, a little bit of oil on top, just a nice runny gravy. And this one is a super specialty of the city, which is a mutton chukka gravy, and look at that one, that's a bit thicker there. Now the dealio is here, and what I want to do is not be dipping and things like that. I'm going to soak them in gravy. So I'm going to go with this mutton one first because it just looks so thick and luscious. Oh, look at that, some chunks of mutton in there as well. And then we'll just start ripping into it. Oh, there's little pockets and holes all through there. Oh, look at all the folds. So you can see as they've spun it out, the way it's been folded over and puffed up. So now it's absolutely packed with little holes all in there. Oh man, it's really hot. Okay, I got a tiny piece because it was too hot. Oh yum. Oh, that is so good. Super crispy on the outside, and then nice and bready still on the inside, and that gravy. I've got a bit here with a whole lot of meat. Rich, full of spices, a bit of chili. Oh, that is unreal. I just can't stop. I'm going for a bit more. There's gravy down here. Oh. Absolutely incredible. I'll grab this chicken gravy now and do the same deal. Just gonna pour it all over. You can see quite a bit runnier, this chicken gravy. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's just covered in goodness. Oh, look at all those layers of goodness in there. All right, rip a bit off. Oh, again, so hot inside. They really hold the heat in there. Coated in chicken gravy. Oh, so good, full of spice again. Sort of the same level of spice and chili, but not quite as rich because it's just the chicken gravy, so it's got a much more mild overall taste there. Oh, unreal. That is so good. And I'm looking at my two here that I got. They seem very even and very perfect. So I have a feeling I didn't get the ones that Sheena made because she was making big balls and small balls. I feel very sorry for some of the crowd here tonight if they got Sheena's one. Someone would have been like, what's this little thing? What's going on here? I'm really happy to have these big, massive ones.